Welcome to the In the Pocket podcast. I'm Logan Martin here with Xander Cook, Max Sturm, and welcome to the show, Zavier Scott, running back for the Minnesota Vikings, former teammate of mine at University of Maine. We are glad to have you on, man. How's football? How's family? How's life, man?
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all having me. I'm sure we'll dive deeper into some of these questions, but overall, things are well. Family's good, football's good. My body's feeling good. I'm excited about this off season, the plan that's been put into place, and we've been doing it for a little over a month now, and just excited about what's to come. So yeah,
And
yeah,
we'll start off with a banger. Your first career touchdown in the NFL, coming against the Pittsburgh Steelers, overseas too. And knowing you,
yeah,
you come from Germany, you played a lot of football in there growing up, military family, moving all around. It
yeah.
was such a coincidence that you score your first touchdown overseas, man. So kind of talk about the emotion behind scoring that touchdown.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences, if I'm being honest. I think that everything happens for a reason. Personally, I have faith in God that He does everything for a reason. And it's just cool to see like the full circle moment, honestly, in that moment and looking back, it's something that's like a really special thing to think about. But in the moment, you just trying to win a football game, right? I wanted to get another touchdown today. I feel like I could have, looking back, even that day, routes kind of got a little muddy. Me and Jets ran into each other on a route, and it was my fault. But man, I could have left another one out there that day. But still very grateful to have my first one, nonetheless. And man, that moment was just it was. I mean, it's unreal looking back at it. Like I said, in the moment of the game, I was, excited for sure. We just scored a touchdown, but it wasn't much thinking that,
Right.
oh wow, this is a full circle moment. Like I'm present. I was at the game. But looking back, I could see that one, the full circle moment, but two, just how impactful that was. My mom was there, my wife was there, and my mother-in-law was there too. Just how cool
It's
that
awesome.
was too, to have them all over there in Dublin and to watch the game. And that's part of the testimony too, So um, yeah, I mean, when I was there, it's a toe tap touchdown. If you haven't seen it,
Wheel route. Hmm.
Will route. Got I found some space behind Jalen Ramsey, and Carson Wentz rolled out, threw me the ball, and I toe tapped in. But from my perspective, I'm thinking I'm out of bounds. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking I was like way out the back of the end zone. Like it just felt because the field is so different. We're playing on like a soccer field in Dublin
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
painted with football lines. So I'm thinking I'm way out the back. It just feels different. And I'm like, he threw me the ball. I must be close. So I had a good feeling, had a good feel for where I was, I guess, better than I
Yeah.
thought I did. And yeah, I got my first one. And the goal isn't just to score touchdowns. The goal is much deeper than that. But for me personally, to shine God's light in every opportunity. When I scored, my first thing I did was point up, and that's a representation of like, man, this isn't me, this is God. Like how far I've came. If you look at my story, you can't give me any credit. It's I've done my part, but there's just been so many things that have just lined up perfectly, people and that God's put in my proximity I've connected with, and even some connections that we've had, Logan. Like I don't know if we'll talk deeper on it, and the injury side of things, but like just moments like that you can't give credit to anything else other than what God has done.
I wanted to ask a little bit more about like the reaction from your family and stuff. Obviously, you said they were there, so that was cool. You got to talk to them afterward. They were probably so excited for you. As a sports reporter here in Bangor, Maine, when you scored that touchdown, that was a big story for the night. We talked about it.
Yeah.
We put it on the air. Did you have any like former teammates or old coaches reach out to you and give you your congratulations after that?
Yeah, I mean it's actually wild. I had so many people reach out. It's overwhelming at times, but I'm very grateful for the people who've supported, from before I even, was on the NFL team, before I was in college. Like just the amount of people who've reached out and just shared appreciation, even throughout the years, shared just moments that we've had together, just who've supported me, who've reached out when I've done good, bad, anything in between. Just the amount of people that came out, coaches and friends, like it's overwhelming at times, but just so much gratitude within it.
So I've got a couple questions about your time with the Vikings and stuff, but I want to start back at the beginning of your NFL career, and we've had two other players on the podcast at this point, and they were both drafted. So this is a bit of a different situation where you go undrafted in 2023. So I'm just curious, sort of what that process was like for you, because they talked about getting the phone call and having their name announced. As someone who goes undrafted, what was that process like for you when you got the call from the Colts? What was that experience like?
Yeah, I wasn't even initially out of college saw to be anybody more than a rookie minicamp invite guy, and I didn't believe it. Like I saw it, I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't let that define me, and I never will. And I don't think anybody should let what other people say define them. And that I wouldn't have been able to climb to where I did, but ended up having a good pro day, and then I was started to be sought after a little bit more. Teams calling, going to different facilities, and at one point projected to be a late pick. And that night I got picked up by the Colts. I actually thought I was gonna get drafted. Where I'm in talks with my agent, and like things are just on fire. That last day, so many things happen. It's unreal. So many things change. So many just curveballs come. Like it looks all all fun and dandy from watching this draft. Oh, cool, this guy got picked. Oh, cool, who's this guy? I don't know him. Like you know what I mean? Like throughout the last few rounds, that last day. But like behind the scenes, things are flying around. People are figuring stuff out. These are the last picks of the before UDFAs and rookie minicamp invites, and a lot of things are changing. Teams going different directions. So it was actually pretty crazy seeing that side of it. But ended up getting the call from Indianapolis, and man, I just the emotion in that moment. It felt like I got drafted. It felt like that, and then we ended up signing as an undrafted free agent, and that whole experience is just, I mean, that's a part of how I got to where I am today. Just uh came in ready to play, ready to ball. I actually came in as a receiver to the Colts. They moved me to running back after I think it was the first rookie mini camp, or after rookie mini camp, and then just been running back since. But yeah, that's the undrafted side of things. It's similar, like especially as someone who's a priority undrafted free agent. I mean, I think that's really how they all are, but it's really like the next. It's like if draft had three more rounds, that's kind of how it is, and that's not how I look at it, but that's really how it is if you
Right.
look at it from that, the outside.
Yeah, and you had a really good preseason for the Colts too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were getting 5.4, 5.6 yards per carry that preseason. You were looking really good, explosive. And then in Minnesota, I saw a lot of the same. Like I saw moments where the offense had a little bit of a spark because, you in the passing game, you with an explosive run. And a lot of it, I thought this past season came catching the football. So how does a player
Mhm.
like you fit into Kevin O'Connell's scheme?
I mean, any way needed. I think I've been gifted with an ability mentally to be able to handle things, physically to be able to handle things, and with a just an excitement to build on things, a humility to know what I need to get better at throughout the offseason. I'm never going to be a perfect player. There's no perfect player out there, in case you guys are wondering. That's something that each offseason I take with intention and just very intentional detail in it. And I think that it doesn't matter where I'm put. I think I truly care about wherever it is. I'll take the role. I show up and I'll give it my all. And I know that I have a lot to give, a lot of abilities that we need, that is going to help us win games. Like that's really the ultimate goal, right? So.
We talk about Kevin O'Connell a lot on this podcast, and usually it surrounds the topic of how he's been able to transform some of these quarterbacks. Like Sam Darnold, for example, he plays for the Jets and the Panthers, and it looks like his career's going down in a spiral, but then he goes to Minnesota and has an incredible turnaround, goes to Seattle, wins a Super Bowl. Uh, so when you got the call from KOC and you joined that team and you started being around him a little bit more, what kind of things stood out to you about him as a person and a coach?
I mean, he's an impeccable leader. That stands out right away. The way he teaches, he is about what he's about, and like what he talks about is that's who he is, and he's just such just a humble leader. He's passionate as a leader. Just his ability to have an understanding that he's been in these seats, and now he can use things that he learned while he was in the seats to help his coaching now. he's just I think his leadership is one of the biggest things that stand out, and obviously his ball knowledge is amazing. Like learning from him, hearing him break things down, is super, you know, impressive for one. But like it's honestly like it really helps me understand the game at a deeper level, so I can be a better player as a even as a running back. Just the understanding that he has is huge, and all of our coaches really like being able to learn from our running back coach, from offensive coordinator, and other position coaches. If they see something, they say something. So we just have I think we have a good scheme, and the way he leads other men is just is it's noticeable and it's powerful. Like the and I know he has a his faith that is he's rooted in too. So that plays a huge role, and you see that week in, week out.
Yeah, one thing I love about KOC is going on to Instagram and just looking at the Vikings page, and it's those post-game victory speeches. And that dude, I listened to him talk. He has so much trust in all of the team captains, more so everyone on the team. It takes all 52 players, to get the win. Um, but one thing I love about him is that he's just so passionate in those speeches. Is there a speech that he's given that made you like have chills on you, where you wanted to run through a brick wall again? Like you just got done with a win, you want to go out there in the next 20 minutes to do it again?
Yeah, I mean probably every single one of them. I think that's one thing he's good at is keeping you present. Like, hey, we just won a game, but also like enjoy it. But like we're ready to go do it again. Like kind of it fires you up in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like really good coaches, the best coaches you have in the game of football, every speech is a banger.
Yeah.
You're kind of anticipating it. It's kind of like something you look forward to pregame, I feel like, and postgame.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely want to hear the victory ones for sure.
Oh, for sure.
That's those are the best ones to hear. Yeah, I agree.
So
So,
oh, go ahead, Xander.
no, no, you go.
All right, so you've had some mentors. You talked about the mentors with KOC being one of those, and your other coaches, like your running back coach. I want to talk about maybe some players that have been a mentor for you. Obviously, you've been working with Aaron Jones for the last 2 years, and he's been one of the better running backs both for uh, Green Bay and for Minnesota. What has he been able to teach you about the position, but also just being a player in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean he's taught me a ton of things, but a couple things that stand out. I would say one is humility. He comes up to me and asks me what he could do better sometimes. I'm like, man, like you're one of the best running backs in this league, and you're willing to like, humble yourself in that way. And I'm the same way. I ask anybody, what could I have done better on that rep, this XYZ. Like that's what truly helps you get better at anything. And then also just his durability, the way he takes care of himself is like high tier, like S tier. There's he leads by example in that way, and he grew into that captain role that he took this year, and it was very much deserved. And he's definitely someone that I learned a lot from. I've I would consider him someone that like truly mentored me and on and off the field. Another teammate that comes to mind is CJ Ham. He's a man that leads by faith on and off the field too. He's a humble player. He's not been the biggest, everybody not the most well-known but people
He
in the
can
league know
block.
him. People he could run too a little bit. Once he gets that right,
He can
he's a
catch.
little he could yeah, he could catch like he's just but he's a humble dude on and off the field, and um he's such a pivotal piece to what this offense has been even before KO was here. He's just someone people like him are needed on teams, and he showed that, and he taught me how to do many things on special teams, offense and tackling, just all kinds of things. He's played a big role on and off the field, even leading as a man in his marriage and as a man of faith in the church. I see how he steps into community. Just Aaron too. They both strong in the community, and that's something that sticks out to me too. Just good men. That good high character guys.
I
Yeah.
bet the team was sad to hear that CJ was retiring.
Oh yeah. I hope that it doesn't go. I mean, some people posted. I really don't care, but I was emotional at the game. It was. I don't know why, but I mean, I really care about CJ. Obviously, like it's our last game we were playing together, but like I didn't know it was coming. It just, man, something just about it hit different, knowing that one of my closest friends, one of my best teammates, like uh is about to leave. Is about to leave the NFL and retire. So yeah, it's different, but I was definitely one of the ones that was it hit a little harder.
I want to go back before Minnesota, back to when you were in Indianapolis. You signed with the Minnesota Vikings practice squad. You made a Twitter post after joining, and you started it with, "I'm grateful God put me in Indianapolis to help me grow into a better man." Can you kind of explain a little bit, the meaning behind that statement?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's such a strong culture there in Indianapolis that through the locker room, people who have poured into me who still are there, some people who've gone on to different teams, the player engagement guy there, DT, he was someone that poured into me as man to man, and we'd have conversations in his office, uh, and some deep conversations. And that obviously is something that helps you grow as a man, is having those vulnerable conversations, and that played a huge role. And just the culture there is special. It's what I exactly what I needed as a young guy in the NFL. And even I think anybody can benefit from an organization led like that, ran like that, and just having the guys that were there too. It was special.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jim Irsay too. Can you
Yeah.
kind of talk about the man Jim Irsay was as the owner for the Indianapolis Colts?
I didn't have a lot of interactions with him, but when I did see him, he was just such a it's just he was kind of in those later years. He was just such a just kind older guy, just very respectful. And he raised amazing women and his daughters that took over, and that shows a lot of his who he is and how he's him and his family, the Ursay family, started to break the stigma, um, the whole I don't know what you would call it,
Women as leaders in sports.
not that, and but more on the mental health side of things. Like let's break the stigma around mental health, like that it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to not be okay. That kind of let's break the stigma. That was there. That's something they talked about, and something because from his own past that he decided to make a change about, and it was impactful, not just then, but still is to this day. And his daughters are doing a good job carrying that on. So not a ton of interaction with him, but I did have some great interactions with his daughters. They're at practice all the time, and they're they really care about the game. They care about the people, and it's just a special organization as well.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So you grew up in a military family and you lived in Germany for a little bit as well. How did moving around shape who you are today?
Yeah, I would say it shaped me. Just it helped me learn to step out of my comfort zone. It's not as easy when you have your people that for your whole life, but I had to learn to make new friends because it was even before, I don't want to date myself, but before social media and all these different things. Like when we moved, like you might get a phone number, but we really, that's not really gonna you didn't have iPhones, you didn't have FaceTime, you didn't have Instagram, like that kind of stuff. And it obviously came a couple years after that, but um, having to step out and meet new people, that plays a big role. And being able to adapt, I feel like that's one of my strengths. Like even going from Indianapolis to here, like I was able to adapt with the area, the place well, the people, just being able to experience new cultures. Indianapolis is very different from Minneapolis, and in many ways, the drivers in Indy are insane, I will say, but they're both great places that I've been. But yeah, I mean, I would say that's a big part, just being able to jump into different areas and uh, be me.
Well, we're
Yeah,
on the
for sure.
topic of you kind of bouncing around. I want to talk a little bit about your time in high school over in Germany. I'm really curious how football worked over there. Like it says that you played against some U.S. military based teams or you were part of those teams. Can you just explain sort of what that was like? Because to me, it's like you go to a school, you play for their team, you play the teams in the state or in your area. So what was the high school football experience like overseas for you?
Yeah, like the biggest school was about 1,000 people. To put that in perspective, my school had about 400. And there was about we had 6 games over the course of a season. One team we played twice, and then 4 other teams. And that was our whole season, and it was I would say it's kind of like small town ball. I wouldn't see it to be any different. Not the most competition. I mean at the time, like, you felt like, this is good competition. People are good, all that. But like, looking back, coaches didn't have as much of a respect for it, and that's why it took a little while to get some offers. I graduated with none, and then I had to go show myself in person to receive offers. And yeah, I mean, it's just regular football though, at the end of the day. The trips are longer. We, instead of a 20-minute bus ride to the neighboring school, our closest was 2-hour bus rides. And we went as far as 16 hours to England to play Lakenheath, both my junior and senior year of high school. So, and those are fun trips you can't get back. But yeah, they're tough, to say
You
the
touched
least.
on it a little bit. Like when you're looking to get signed or recruited by a college,
Yeah.
I feel like playing overseas and not having as much on tape, right? Like that's harder to get recruited. What was the recruiting process? Like you said, you had to show up in person, but what would you say it was a harder process than had you played back in the United States?
Yeah, 100%. Because you can't easily go to camps. They had an ESPN camp there that I did well at and got MVP, but that didn't really do a ton for me at the end of my season. It started, it did something, but not a ton. And then, but at my last game, my senior year, at a playoff game, my good friend Brandon Collier, he uh, runs this organization called Premier Players International, and they, PPI for short, they just help guys get to college, play college ball from overseas. Because he played Europe ball or NFL Europe after his time in the NFL. And he's like, there's some guys that could play college football over here, and that started with like a vision, and then he just started doing it full time, and now they're killing it. Guys are going to Ohio State, Alabama, Florida every year. Multiple guys start. It's climbed, and I was one of his first classes there, or I was his first class of guys that he helped get recruited. And I graduated with no offers. The day after I graduated, I flew out to from Germany to Ohio to start doing some camps. Went to Ohio State camp, ran like a 4.35 40, and played really well competitively, but very raw. I was a very raw athlete, not much coaching, like detailed coaching. I was just trying to win. I was competitive and I was athletic. And um, then I ended up picking some scholarships up that summer and ended up committing to UConn on my birthday that year and going right to school, right to training camp. It was quick turnaround on everything, but that was the process. It's hard. It was harder over there, but now, I mean, it's possible. Guys are coming out, year after year to big schools, Power Four schools all the time. So I'm glad to see where it's gotten, and also to see to be it's an honor to be a part of one of the early classes, one of the one of the guys who paved the way in a way. I played my role in doing so.
Yeah, speaking of colleges, let's talk about a place that's far more different than Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Germany, all of those places. Let's talk about Orono, Maine,
Hmm.
where you went to the University of Maine. You played a little bit with Logan. Can you just tell us a little bit about playing at UMaine and what it means to represent the University of Maine in the NFL?
Yeah, I like how you teed that up. That was a good setup. I loved it. I mean, I love my time in the University of Maine. Like, I think that was perfect for me. Like, very there was a lot of growth in that time, mentally, physically, spiritually. And that's I mean, I have so much to thank Maine for. I was just back this past week with got to link up with Logan for a bit. Uh just because how much it means to me, the family aspect, the family culture there with the team. Even to this day, I worked out with the team, and uh, you could still see that these guys care about each other. You could see that there's consistency in what was built before I was there, what's been pushed through when I was there, what we carried on, and then what guys are still doing to this day. And it's a special place, and in my heart, I was able to take my wife there, which was really special. And yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me, the University of Maine, and it was where I feel like the I became a man. I became a follower of Christ when I was there. That's when I really started to feel myself just just free up.
Yeah.
I wasn't tied to football. I wasn't tied to women. I wasn't tied to any addictions anymore. Like, I felt God like starting to heal me from the inside out. And then I freed up. I got better. I was getting better at football once I didn't, have that as my identity. I was becoming a better man, a better brother, and in those times. So Maine has a huge part to play in that. I met my mentor in Maine, and it just means a lot to me. That area is special. The people there are awesome, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned you met your mentor in Maine. Who's the mentor?
My mentor is TJ Holloway. He runs a consulting firm out of Bangor area, and
Hmm.
he used to be a professor there. He I met him the day I got baptized at the Rock Church up there in Bangor, and yeah, I mean, since I was just with him again this weekend, and yeah, he's family to me. So that's just one of the many aspects of family I met or found in Maine.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, how did he shape you as a man, both personally and towards football?
I feel like less of how he shaped me, more of how he led in a way that one I could see, but also he poured into me and like by leading me to bet leaders who are like Miles Monroe, leading me to leaders like how Jesus even led his sacrificial
Mm.
leaders, and then even seeing it in the way he acted with his family and how he led his family. Just it wasn't always explicit, but a lot of lessons were learned just from regular conversation. He would give me books to read. I started reading a lot more, and I felt that transformation happening from the inside out. So um, he definitely played a huge role in that. But um, I would say that, I mean, I don't think anything could transform us as much as God can. Like, and that's the truth. I found God, I found him at the same time, and he played a big role into that. But I give all credit to God, his word, his people, and helping me.
Yeah, I was gonna
I love
ask
that
later
story.
on what your biggest motivate like what keeps you most motivated in your career, but I think that's becoming obvious to me. Is God and
Yeah.
faith your biggest motivation in your life to keep yourself going in your career, but also just as a man?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it can be cliche, but it everything flows from my relationship with God. I'm able to be a better, like I mentioned, a better man, a better husband now, better brother, all these different things, better friend because of that, but better football player as well. And the motivation is just to be the best version of myself I can be for God. And if it was just to be the best football player, then what happens if I have a bad game? Then my identity is shot. Then I'm, going through all these different issues mentally, and it's not a firm foundation. God says that his word if we build our lives on his word, that it's like building the wise man who builds his house on a rock. If you're building your identity, your motivation on money, success, fame, you might get it, but you're gonna realize that it's a very insecure foundation, and it's like sand. It's like the foolish man who built his house on sand. It's gonna wash away. It's gonna blow when the wind comes, the waves hit it, because we're gonna get hit by some waves in life, and I've been hit by some even since I've started following God. We're gonna get hit by um you know uh, from all different sides, but when we have that secure foundation, man, there's nothing else that can really break us. It might hurt, it might get a little nick on us, but it's not going to break us. And that's where I find motivation, and it helps me get up every day with a purpose deeper than things of this world, football, money, fame, whatever it is. Like that stuff doesn't matter, and it doesn't last either. So yeah.
You've got a great outlook on life. And just looking back, like you've talked about some mentors in high school and college and the NFL, and maybe God is your greatest mentor up until this point. But throughout your career, throughout your life, I'm curious what the best advice you've ever gotten from somebody is. What's something that somebody's told you or that you've read that just really sticks with you?
A couple things that come to mind. One, football wise, one thing that really I felt is very simple, but it just really applied to the way I've played football. Like I'm a very thoughtful player. Um, and this coach I was working with saw that. But in a lot of times in football, you don't want to think. A lot of times in sports, you're not in a flow state if you're thinking, if not all the time. So it's kind of finding that balance. between thinking and just flowing. But uh, the coach he told me after I did a rep, I was like a little robotic, and he's like, Xavier, don't think, just go. And I'm like, man, that's it's very simple, 4 words, and it's something that's so profound, and it really hit me in a different way. And I'm like, even to this day, it comes to mind. Don't think, just go. Stop thinking, stop thinking. Even when I'm boxing now, I can think about all these different combinations, but it's like, no, just go, just one, one, two, two, like just different combinations, and it just happens better when you're not thinking and you're just going. And now another thing that comes to mind that is a verse, Galatians 6:9. It says, um, Give me just a second. It says, "For do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you will reap if you do not give up." And that's something that has just stuck with me and helped me just keep doing good, keep planting seeds. Something I talked to University of Maine team about the other day was just keep planting seeds, do the work. You know, what's done in the dark comes to light. Keep doing it and don't give up, and you will reap a harvest. Like that's a guarantee, and it's you're gonna reap the harvest of the seeds you plant. So it's just a matter of what seeds do we want to plant.
I love that. You guys got anything before I get to my last few?
Yeah, what part of your game do you feel has improved the most since you entered the NFL?
I would say the mental aspect of my game. I mean, that's one thing you learn once you get to the NFL is how important the mental clarity, the mental understanding of the game is. Like the best players understand the game, and they can operate freely within that understanding. And I feel like in college, you could take things for granted. You could take things for granted. Even some players in the league might take things for granted. But um, the mental aspect of the game I've grown in, whether that be understanding where runs are supposed to hit and not just going out there playing football, which is good. But like you start to have an understanding of the scheme, the design, the protections, the pass concepts. Why am I running to this area of the field? And having that understanding of the why is elevated my game tremendously.
If you could play any other position in football for a game, what would it be? I know you played a little bit of receiver, played a little bit of running back. Is there one position where you didn't have the tools to have success at that position, but you really wanted to try it out?
I mean, I feel like the everybody gotta say quarterback, right?
Right.
You got to. Like I almost stood up and started doing a play call real
You
quick
had some
for you. Like
wildcat back at
I
Maine,
did have
some
some
situations.
Wildcat.
Yeah.
I did have some Wildcat. Hopefully we can pop that back out. But I mean quarterback would be that'd be fun. If I could throw the rock, man, I mean I could throw it, but if I could like be consistent, that would
Hmm.
be fun. That would be fun. I'm
What
not
what
gonna
Yeah.
if,
lie.
what if you could play defense? What position would you want to play?
If I could play defense, I feel like I'd be a safety.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'd
you
have
could
fun
fly
playing
around,
safety.
man. I can see it
I'd have
100%.
fun playing
You
safety.
could line up in the box too. You're 220.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think I could be like that Kyle Hamilton type player. Like just
Yeah.
you never know. Derwin James, that kind of ball. Like because I mean these guys have crazy understandings of the game too, but they're just physical. They have good body size, their speed, their understanding. It's fun to watch guys like that. So I would say something like that, like a safety that can also jump down in the box here and there.
That's fire. What do you enjoy doing the most when it's not training or
That was
playing
my next
football?
question.
I was getting there
Yeah.
too. You son of a gun.
Okay.
That was literally my next one
Yeah.
because I already know. But
Great minds think alike, man. Great minds think alike. Well, actually, like we talked a little bit about, I like to game, but I haven't had a lot of time to game. I'm currently in school at Dallas Theological Seminary, so that's taking up a little more of my free time. But I just enjoy family time, family games, just things. I think that's some fun things to like have family time, but also like I get that competitive fix kind of in a way. You know,
Hmm.
I could play Fortnite for hours, or I could just go, do like some type of board game with my wife and friends and or go. I do enjoy chess too. That's something that I've put a lot of uh time into. It's really fun and it's improved my game off my game in football too, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna guess if it was. I wasn't gonna guess gaming. I think you probably thought I was gonna guess gaming. I was gonna say faith and family. And why I say that is because following you,
Mm,
obviously, after college, we had the personal relationship. We still have a personal relationship, but I'm not seeing you in
yeah,
the locker room every day.
right.
But staying and following you, watching every single game you're playing in, seeing what you post. A lot about your wife, a lot about your faith. Let's talk about your wife for just a second. Let's shine the
Oh, I was
spotlight
gonna
on
get there
her.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
She races, and growing up, I was she Sprint Cup. What do you
Sprint
call
car race. She
sprint
did
car?
sprint
Yeah,
car racing
I was a
for
huge
years.
NASCAR fan growing up. So any
I
type of
didn't know that.
racing, that's sick.
I got a couple cars back here. I have Tony Stewart. If you know who that is.
I put the
I
lug
Uh,
nuts on
love
his car at
what's that,
Loudon in pit lane.
Casey Kane. I
Casey
have back
Kane,
here.
dude? Casey
The Dodge
Kane,
car,
those
It's the
number
one in the
boys.
nine.
middle. This one, right? It's number 9 right here. The
Yeah,
middle.
I
I can
can't see
grab
it.
it,
I can't
but yeah,
see
it's
it, but I know
blurry.
he is.
It's blurry,
Dude,
but
I
I
got
like
I
Look at
got
it.
like
Max.
four of them lined up
Oh,
over there
that's
too.
sick. Yeah,
I got a
that's sick.
shit ton of old cars from the
That's
2010s.
sick.
That was my era of NASCAR.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
every
didn't really
time.
watch it. These are all hers, but I never really got into NASCAR. We did go to Daytona 500 last year. That was fun.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
that
That's a
was
good
fun.
one.
Yeah,
So
that
what's
was good.
something that is watching your wife race? What is something that you're in awe of?
I mean, just the fact, just how fast they go and how hard it is. Like you look at their hand, they're not just like, when you're driving a car, you're just like no, they're fighting the wheel like to
Yeah,
stay
No power
straight.
steering on those things,
None of
man.
that. None of that. And they're turning the wrong way. Like you got to go left, you got to turn right. And they're like just the understanding that she has of the dirt, the car itself. Like she did her own mechanical work for X amount of years. Like she's been through it all in racing, and she has a good understanding of all that. It's amazing. It's
yeah,
I just don't, and I'm not a mechanical person either, so it amazes me that much more because I don't know how things
right.
work in the inside of a car. I just put that thing in drive and put
Go.
my foot on the pedal. Yeah,
What made
Yeah,
you fall in love with her?
it's actually I would say a bunch of different things that added up, but it was the day I met her. It was actually pretty cute. It was in the we were in she came to church. My pastor introduced me to her, and she had a cute outfit on. So that's one thing. I was like, okay, she got a little style. But she's a little bit is unique, And I'm like, okay, I like that. And then I asked her to come sit with us, and then we ended up meeting up at a conference that we both got to two separate ways. We didn't know each other. She signed up. Months later, I signed up, and then we end up being the only people we know at this conference. And we're hanging out. We're staying up outside at the fire pit, talking for hours, and just hearing how she thinks about things, how passionate she is, and how competitive she is, and just how gifted she is, and those these all these things kind of played a role. But one thing that sticks out is I don't know if you guys know Proverbs 31 is it's the last proverb in the Bible, and it kind of talks about a they call it a P31, a Proverbs 31 woman, which is kind of like it's the woman that if you read it, you'd be like, I want a woman like this. And
yeah.
if you haven't seen it, if you haven't read it, go check it out, Proverbs 31. Like these are the attributes that I was seeing in her, and I'm like, I love she's hardworking, she cares about people. She's like when you could see how she responds to people. She's fun to be around. She's funny. Like just these different things that all were encompassing in her, and I was like I like this girl. I loved, and then
Mm.
became I love this girl, and then it became I want to live the rest of my life with this girl. So yeah, that played a huge role into me and us both falling in love.
That's
That's amazing.
beautiful. So
Yeah,
you guys got married last year. I gotta ask. I mean, you guys are both in your careers right now, so very busy time. But there are plans to
yeah.
start a family in the future here.
We're not necessarily rushing into that, if I'm being honest, but we have a puppy, so it's pretty much we
That's
pretty
pretty
much got
much
a
like having a
baby,
kid,
pretty much
right?
have a newborn right now. He's upstairs. I don't know how he's quiet right now, but somehow he is. We've made it 40 minutes without him going crazy. But I did give him a little snack and play with him a little bit before, so he's content right now. Right now.
So
Awesome.
did you meet your wife in Maine
No, so
or
we met in Indianapolis, right after my rookie
Indianapolis?
year, and she was there for racing. Indianapolis is like racing capital of the world
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Hmm.
It's huge there, and Indy 500 is there, all these
Yep.
different things. And she was there for racing, and I was there for football. And we met at church. Literally, the first time we ever shook hands was at church. My pastor brought me up and introduced me to her. He tended to introduce me to young adults, guys, girls, just because I was involved with the young adults ministry. And sure enough, he introduced me to my wife.
It's awesome.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, I got two more questions for you. I'll start with a football related one. Well, I guess
Yeah.
they'll both kind of be football related ones. But the first,
Okay.
just like you've talked about, like CJ Ham and Aaron Jones kind of being guys that you were close with the Vikings. But is one of them, or is there another player that you feel like you've really bonded with, have a close relationship off the field with?
That's a great question. I mean, I think I've spent some time hanging out with other guys, whether it be going to shooting ranges, going to Top Golf and bowling. And I would say another person that sticks out is Ty Chandler, like the another running back. I mean, we you spend the most time with running backs on in meetings and all between meetings and all these things. He's someone else that sticks out to me. It just and man, walking it out, humble guy who truly passionate. He cares about the game, and he really he's just a good person to be around, and is he can ball too, man. And it's just cool having those people around you who care about things deeper than football, but they also care about football too. He sticks out to me too. And yeah, like I said, we've gone bowling with a ton of guys and top golf, those kind of things we enjoy. Um but that's he's one that sticks out. Uh but yeah, I mean, I would definitely say him.
Awesome. Either of you got another question before I throw my kicker in there?
And go
I'll
ahead.
do.
All right.
Let's hear it.
All right. So you actually met Logan before any of us. So I gotta ask, during your time in the locker rooms with Logan, and
Logan's
keep
worried
it
about this one.
as PG or what or R-rated as you want. Give us a Logan story that you don't think we've heard.
Oh my
Oh, I love
goodness.
this question.
Logan, I was just watching Logan's face the whole time you were teeing that one up. That's hilarious. A Logan story.
I
We
might
can
have to
cut we
edit it
can cut
out.
out anything. This is for me. This is not for the audience. This is for me.
Hey,
It's
So if
for
oh
us.
no, Logan, you
There's
you
been a
give
lot of
me.
growth after, so just keep that in
Me
mind.
too, bro. I was right there with you. Man, I'm gonna keep it PG. I'll keep
okay.
it PG. Logan,
Oh,
Logan, we could talk off
Yeah.
camera. I'd love to do that. But um I would say that one of the moment, I mean, when he had his major injury, and you were just coming off injury too, am I correct, right? Over your freshman
Coming
year?
off COVID, didn't play my senior year of football, and
That's what
then
it was.
my
Yeah.
hamstring during track, I pulled it on the same leg. Yeah, missed
Yeah,
all
and then
spring.
and then had a major injury during practice. And I feel like that's just something that stuck out to me, just because I saw how hard he worked, how much he cared about what he does to this day, what he did at the time. And that being able to talk to him after that injury, going in the locker room, being going, just because I felt for him. I knew how that felt. Maybe not exactly how he felt at the time, but I had some type of relation to that moment, and I was able to come up to him, and we shared tears, and it was just such a tough moment to witness, but also it was special because to be able to encourage somebody in that moment, in those seasons that are tough. Like, I knew the road he was about to go down. His knee was already it was your ACL, right?
Meniscus, ACL, my femur.
Yeah, I mean, it was major, and I the road they're about to go down, but and it's not easy coming back from those type of things. So just being able to see that side of him being able to see that side of me, I think that was special. And yeah, I mean, we both done a lot of growing since then. I'd love to. We had some fun stories, but we had a good time. I mean, Logan he was just always someone who was like, no, one I would say, the fight, not the fight, the when y'all had the rap battle. The rap battle, that was
Logan knew
legendary.
it. Logan knew it.
That was legendary. I'm not gonna lie. The way they
I
teed
told
that
him I
up,
might have to edit it out.
the rap battle was legendary. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody was there. This is like, it's so hard to get guys together outside of football. Everybody was there. Lights off. Logan getting hyped up, walking down the hallway like he's going to a title match. And the way that they just went at it. It was
He
tough.
promoted the shit out of that.
It very much, yeah. It started that in the cafeteria that morning, and then
He said, yeah, he said he could rap better than me. And I said, let's have a rap battle. And then Jacob Henney heard it and basically took it upon himself that nothing else were to happen but a rap battle that week.
Yes.
So this was all organized, like
Yes, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, this was
So Logan, who was
organized.
it? Logan, who did you rap battle? Because you didn't mention that to me.
Yeah, Richie
Was it-
Peck. He was a kicker for the football team.
Yeah, Richie.
What a character. But it was one of those where
Yeah.
like if he's like I thought it was fun, all in a good spirit, and I was like, you know what, this is the perfect guy just to go against.
Yeah, it was so fun. Like, and everybody, everybody's hype, screaming,
Picking sides.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
was legendary. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I forgot about that moment. That was easily my favorite
Yeah. I
moment.
won't say names. I won't talk about what it was about, but we did have a meeting after the rap battle. Coach held a team meeting and said that someone, which in retrospect it was everyone, was on Instagram Live and took video
yeah.
of that performance.
I've heard the
Yeah.
legend of the rap battle, but getting the
That's
story
funny. There's a
right from
legend. Wow.
YouTube,
I
is
love
awesome.
that. I
They
love
don't
that
even
there's a
know. They don't
legend.
even know I lost. I lost the rap battle. I didn't
You
even
lost?
But
win.
you didn't have to even say that.
It was
You
it
No,
was
I
a legit
lost.
it was a legit battle.
Took the L. I took the L.
I wish I
hilarious.
could see that again, man. What I
Oh
would
man.
give to watch
Oh
that right
yeah,
now.
if we could, I was talking to him a little bit about Summer Bridge, like even just that, like taking the classes, being the only freshman on, and then going right into
Yeah,
football camp. Like those were
yeah,
some of the best few months of my life. But
yeah,
talking about the story, talking about injury right before I wrap this up, um, mention everything happens for a reason, and that's truly how I
yeah,
feel. There was a point in my
yeah,
life where football was my identity, and my parents for years were telling me it can't be because when football's not a part of your life, who are you? My
yeah.
dad, specifically told me I need to get comfortable with the guy in the mirror. And
Hmm.
facing that injury, coming off of COVID, not playing a whole year of football, a couple of years out, rehabbing from that knee injury, really forced me down another path. I shouldn't say forced; it just led me down another path, and
Yeah,
that path was realizing, hey, I need a fresh start. That fresh start led me to more isolation, figuring out who I really was as a person, led me
yeah,
to meeting Tasia, and then obviously had our son Crew, who is the light of our lives and my family's life. So I'm with you on that. With everything happens for a reason, and I'm incredibly blessed. And
yeah,
going back, I'd do it all over again, and I'd still hope
yeah.
to get in right here in this moment. So I
Amen.
appreciate you coming on, Xavier. You're a really easy guy to follow and support just because of the person you are. You mentioned the word humility a lot on this podcast. You're a very humble guy. You mentioned it, a couple of stories, like always looking to find ways to improve, always giving props to others, to the Lord, and realizing, all your presence on earth is to be the best version of Zavier Scott. So, even Ryan Buttis, the assistant coach for the AAU team that you came and saw, like he
Yeah,
texted me right after, like I'm such a big Zavier Scott fan now. Like he is he's a dude. He is so easy to like. Like what
yeah,
NFL player will go out of their way, in Maine just to say what's up to the kids, if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is,
yeah,
you just going out of your way and making those kids' day. So another
yeah,
example, you're such an easy guy to follow, support, and really appreciate you coming on the podcast. I had fun chopping
yeah.
it up and hearing some stories again.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. I appreciate you as well, Max and Xander, and encourage. I'm very encouraged by your story, Logan. I ain't gonna lie, like just seeing like the growth, seeing you step up into your role, and now as a father, that's so awesome. And
Yeah.
we could probably talk all day about that, but man, it's a blessing to see it from afar, man. You're killing it. You're doing it the way that you should, man. Just keep going, keep taking the steps. I always saw something in you that was like, man, this kid's gonna be special. And so I don't know where, how, what, but
I
I
think
saw
one
a
thing we
voice in you.
share a similarity is we really care about people.
Yeah,
I think we see the best in people, and
yeah.
that can be there are pros and cons that come with that, but I think more pros. So,
Oh
um,
yeah.
yeah, appreciate you coming on. This is the In the Pocket podcast. I'm Logan Martin. That's Max Sturm. That's Xander Cook. Zavier Scott, our special guest, player for the Minnesota Vikings, my former teammate. Appreciate you coming
Yes,
on,
sir.
man.